What is up, guys? I'm filming a commentary video. Today's topic is going to be about the she deserves a purse trend and how it's going horribly wrong. I'll be sharing my thoughts, showing some clips in here, and yeah. But if you're new, subscribe, like this video, comment, check out my other videos if you haven't already. Check out my podcast, Pretty Open-Minded, on Spotify, and it's on YouTube. Share it, all that stuff. Follow me on Spotify if you haven't already. It helps me out a lot. All my socials, because if you're not keeping up with them, you're missing out. And trending post vacation. So, and I don't know where to start with this. A woman named Denisha Gonzalez posted on her TikTok that caption, and she captioned it, "She deserves a purse." And basically the moral of the story is she was like thinking that someone either misplaced the purse, because the purse was in the baby aisle, so she thought either someone misplaced it or the mom had to prioritize, you know, her needs over wants and decided to get the baby stuff instead. We don't really know the full story of what really went on. Her posting that really like took off, and a lot of people ended up doing their own spin-off off of it. She made a response video and said that her friend went back to the same Target that she went to film that same video, and she decided to leave some money in the little baby stuff, like baby formula, just a lot of like the diapers. So she was sneaking money into that, and then a lot of people started like doing the same thing, and she was very thankful for like what happened, but like the whole trend itself went very left really quickly because of that. And since like people saw that she went viral for that, people were kind of doing like the same thing, and then a lot of creators started to hop on the bandwagon and sneak a lot of money in there and stuff like that. But basically, like, she said that she felt like the mom was sacrificing her needs, and that could be why she did what she did. But for me, seeing that, I didn't really ever like see it as a big deal. I don't know, I see a lot of things misplaced in stores when I go out shopping. I never really think of it as like a big deal, but this little video, this 5-second video, just blew up, and I felt like she had the right intention. I don't want people to think that I'm like hating on her or whatever. She did the right thing by, like, I guess bringing awareness to people, that like bringing light to how much moms sacrifice for their children. I mean, I can even say for myself, I'm not a mom, but I'm a pet mom, but my mom has definitely sacrificed a lot of things for us. And there's even times where living in San Diego, like, my parents used to do Amazon Flex for like a really long time to like pay for rent. Like, my dad had a lot of jobs, and then whenever he got off work or whatever, my mom and him would just go do Amazon Flex or do DoorDash. And they used to even like donate blood like once or twice a week just to pay for expenses. So if you just, you know, if you want to get the gist of how expensive California is, they were literally like doing this every week. Like, I remember very vividly when I was in high school, them doing this. Like, I even went on the runs with them when it came to like them door dashing and doing Amazon, delivering packages, y'all's packages. And it really put a lot of things in perspective. I was a very bratty teenager because I hated going, but like seeing it, thinking about it now, I'm very thankful that, you know, they did that, because it showed me like my mom and my dad definitely like did their big one with that one, because I can't see myself donating blood once or twice a week just to have a roof over my head. Like, I don't really talk about those things because I'm just like, everyone always thought like, and I kind of hate this. I kind of hate this, okay? I kind of hate this. But like a long time ago, I've had a lot of accusations of people being like, you grew up rich, you grew up privileged. And just because of my background, just because I grew up in San Diego, and just because I grew up in San Diego does not mean that I was rich. I just don't talk about like my struggles like how everyone else does. Like, I just kind of like make jokes about it, but I also don't make it a personality trait, you know what I mean? Like the struggle meals, all that stuff. My mom, like, I even told this like when I was presenting once, like in the beginning of my college career, where like I think the assignment was like talk about someone that you appreciate or found, I think it was like someone that you find inspiring. And I said like to in front of the class that my mom was inspiring because she sacrificed a lot for us. Like, she was a stay-at-home mom, and the majority of my life, she used to work when I was little. Actually, just for backstory, she used to work at a hospital as a receptionist, I believe, when I was like a little. And she also used to work at Target when she was pregnant with me, and she used to go downtown San Diego and just taking the trolley and shit when it was dark as fuck out. And that was just an example of sacrificing right there. But she lost that job because she just wasn't like agreeing with what the doctors were doing, and so she didn't get that job. I don't know if I'm getting the timeline right, but no, actually no, what happened was she was working, right? And my brother and I used to go to like this babysitting, like we used to get dropped off and we used to go to like a daycare. And what happened at the daycare was, this is what prompted her to be a stay-at-home mom. And I know that a lot of people used to like talk about it, talk shit about her being a stay-at-home mom, but the reason was because my brother was like a few months old at this point. I was like 2 years old, or about to be 2 years old, and he was at the ball pit, and he was face down in the ball pit screaming his head off. And I got to call my mom, and I was like, oh, telling her like, oh, Taj is crying and screaming, I don't know what's wrong with him, they're not letting me talk to him, they're not letting me comfort him. And that's what I was saying to her, like literally, like in full sentences, like they're not letting me get to him. And they kind of just left him there. They kind of just left him screaming and crying. And my mom was like, I know my son, I know that's his that's his cry, that's his scream, like I need to go down there like now. And then she obviously cussed the lady out. She lost her license for babysitting because it was negligence. He could have died from suffocation. And I don't remember how long he was sitting face down in there, but they left him in the ball pit. They left him in the ball pit, and he was like, I think because he was scared because he was alone, and the fact that they left him alone was making him like freak out more, and the fact that I couldn't comfort him was giving me a lot of anxiety. I mean, obviously, like as a 2-year-old, like if you see someone crying, like, and then you know them and it's your sibling, your mom, you want to comfort them, but they were like refraining me from being around him for some odd reason. And my mom and dad had a talk about like I should be a stay-at-home mom, and it was like, at first my dad didn't want her to because she had a job herself. She had to leave her job to get us because that's how bad it was. And I guess it was so bad that he was like, he could not catch his breath because he was screaming and crying for so long. And that's what made her be a stay-at-home mom, because, and plus we were getting sick a lot over there. I got a lot of eye infection, ear infections. He had asthma. Just not really like a fun time. Like people say like, oh, like being around other kids build your immunity, but we got a lot of infections in there, and I don't know, it was just not like the funnest time. But I feel like that was a good example of her sacrificing herself, and something that should have never happened happened. And she got her own job, she still works at that job, and she's a stay-at-home. She works at home now. She's been working at home for the last 4 or 5 years now. So that's what's been going on. Like popular TikTokers took to this trend and decided to do their own spin on it. And here's my thing about that. Here is my opinion on that. Like I feel like it could come off performative. There is a lot of clout chasing ass hoes on here, and they will do anything for a quick buck, for like a few views. And it kind of comes off as that, because like if you really cared about the struggling moms, then you would go to a shelter, okay, go to an organization, call the organizations, am I saying that right? And they're like, if they say that they need stuff, then you would donate it. You don't have to film every little thing. What makes it performative? Because you're filming it, okay? I just am not like the biggest fan of that, because I always get uncomfortable, to be honest with you, when I see people filming homeless people. I don't like seeing people Like you filming them at their lowest is just so like weird to me, because like you could either use it for good and bring awareness to drugs, homelessness, whatever. You can use that for good, and a good example of that is Tales from the Streets, or he also has another channel called Lost in Phoenix, and I love his channel. I've been watching it for the last year or so, and he always donates to the people that he films. He gives them money. He sheds light to like what is going on in Phoenix. A lot of people are on blues, and the homelessness people on there. There's a lot of 304s that talk on there. There's a lot of people that talk on that. I see it as performative. Some people are like, oh, that's kind of weird that he's filming her, but I feel like it's not for like the bad intentions, like how people, like what normal people do. I watched several of his videos to know for a fact that it's for a good cause, and you could tell the difference between if it's a good cause or if it's just for performative reasons. And you could tell that they're just trying to film a quick video, trying to look good for their, you know, their viewers, and you could just tell the difference. And I don't like that feeling, but I can't see myself doing that, because I have helped a few homeless people and all that stuff, but I never filmed it. And you don't have to show that you're a good person, you just do it. You don't have to film it in front of millions of people. People are treating this trend as like a scavenger hunt, because people are going up to all the baby aisles of Walmart, Target, all that stuff, and they're ripping up apart all of the baby products, perfectly good preserved baby products, and they're ripping it up, and they're like, oh my god, I hope I get it, I hope I get the $20, I hope I get the $100. And they're literally showing themselves, they're literally like telling on themselves on these little TikToks. They might say it as a joke, but you could literally see them like ripping it up. There's even teenagers that are going up there, storming out on the place, just trying to get the money and just leave.
So I'm just walking through the baby aisle in Target right now, and I come across this in the corner of my eye. And I see this, right? Baby aisle in Target right now, and look at this. What? Oh my, they're in all of them. This is nuts. Like, how many 20s in all of the baby formula? This is crazy. Oh my, I'm gonna have to go look for more. This is insane. This is my lucky day right now. This is crazy.
They're using it for their own gain. And I know that like everyone is struggling, everyone is going through their own things, but like this couldn't have gone any worse. When I first saw it, I was like, this is not gonna go well, because I kept seeing influencer after influencer doing it, and I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm starting to not feel like this is for a good cause. I get that there's content creators, but like if you genuinely want to be considered a good person, then just donate. I know at my school in my last semester last year, where there was this one girl that was telling us, oh, if you have like leftover food, like let me know so I can donate it at the pantry, the food pantry, because people like to like food from the food pantry, and it's always available to them. Even when I was younger, like again, living in California, we used to like go, my mom and I used to walk a little bit down away from my apartment complex, and we used to go to the like food banks whenever we were low on food and we didn't have a lot of money, and we used to like get a bunch of food from there, and it would be really good stuff. Like it would be really good stuff. So I kind of hate when people are like, you're rich, you grew up like this, you have a nice house, and you don't know like what it took to get to where I was. Okay, like if my mom didn't get into that accident, we would not have the money to get to right here. If she didn't get into that accident in 2017, then we would still be in California struggling. There's no way. There's no way. But I am all over the place. I feel like I'm always all over the place when it comes to this, but I just have so many thoughts and I kind of relate to it, but I also never like put money into like a thingy, because I just feel like, I don't know, I already see how people are, and since it was getting a lot of notoriety, people were just like, oh, it's all over the place, a lot of people are doing it, and they're just like, let me go look for it. And I felt like sad that there was like a bunch of locks on it when like a month ago, 2 months ago, this trend happened in September. This wasn't even a thing. But if it wasn't filmed, this would not be an issue. It's just weird because like I feel like clout has really gotten into y'all's heads. People have lost morality when it comes to these things. I just feel like you could have done this in private. And this is just even to the creator that started this. You could have done this quietly, because everyone is on TikTok. All my teachers that are like 40 and up are always like, I'm on TikTok, I see everything. And I don't think she knew that it was gonna blow up, but you have to take her, like every time you post a video, there's always a risk that it might blow up. Like even my videos have blown up, and I am just like, even when my videos blew up, I was like, I had a lot of anxiety for days about it. It's not something that I know is coming. It's just kind of like it happens. And like, I know that she seems like a very normal, humble woman, but I just am like, we would not be right here. But also she didn't know. Also, I have to think about it. She didn't know that it was gonna get this far. She probably thought it was just gonna be blown, like it's just gonna be a silly little video. Yes, it blew up, and she probably didn't think it was gonna get this far. But I just have to really, like, you have to really think that, like, how desperate people are right now. There's a lot of desperate people right now that need money, and if you see the economy and the prices, everything, it makes sense on why people are doing it. They're not thinking about like, oh, this could go to someone that actually needs it more than I need it. They're thinking about themselves. And it makes me sad, because I just feel like there's already issues with a bunch of stores locking up every little thing. I saw a video that was like, I don't know, I think it has to do with thieves, and it could lead to that. It could lead to that with this little trend. I don't know if you could consider them just digging and ripping up things as robbing them. I don't know, like, I don't know if you could consider that, but it could lead to that. But there's moms that are kind of like subtly saying like, oh yeah, I wish I got the money, I kind of needed the money, or I thought this was fake and I got the money. Seeing like this video, and I think it's in LA. I don't know why I get a lot of LA, California news. I think because I try to look at it still, even though I don't live there anymore, but I like to see what's going on. There's this one store, they're like, oh, all of your favorite products at the store is gonna be locked up near you. And you could just see the video, and it's just panning to the whole store just being locked up. Every little product being locked up. And it's gonna turn into that if we keep doing these trends. And I don't even think it was supposed to be a trend, but it turned into a trend. And that's what sucks. Seeing like a lot of like things like, oh, only one per person. You only get one per person, because once a product or whatever, a trend goes viral on TikTok, I think stores are like noticing like there is like an influx of people that need this one product. I remember like for right now, for instance, there's like this coconut cult thing. There's like a yogurt at Sprouts that everyone is wanting, and I see signs on TikTok like only one per person, and it kind of reminds me of like the vid days, like when we were all in quarantine in 2020, and they're just like only one toilet paper, only one this, one that. And I don't know, it's just kind of weird, and it's kind of sad, because like people are just kind of like weird. I don't know, like it's just kind of selfish, because they kind of don't think like, oh, other people might want this too, this might be cool for someone else. Like even this one thing where this video of someone like pushed the back of like a Wednesday doll, and it's like a plush doll, and someone like pushed all of the head back, like the hair back, so you can show the forehead, and he did it to all of them. And then a bunch of other people started doing that, and then there was a sign that someone posted on TikTok that said, please don't push the hair back or you will be escorted out. I saw this other sign the other day that said, if you are doing that. Like, we know she's bald, like you don't have to keep pushing her hair back. And I'm just like, what is going on? I mean, for that it seems very harmless, but I could tell that it's kind of annoying because you have to make the store look nice and all that stuff, and it probably is a lot harder on the retail workers, especially even with this, like, this baby trend, this she deserves a purse trend, because like they're cleaning up a lot of messes, and they're not like ripping it up in like a subtle way. It's like literally like they're breaking it apart, and it's like you can no longer use it. But with the dolls, like, you could still use it. Like, it's just, you just flip the hair back. The doll with the baby formula, the baby food, the diapers, the wipes, all that stuff, like those things can be ruined and people are not going to be able to use them. It just sucks because she's kind of like the face of, like, the Denisha woman is kind of the face of it because she's the one that started it. She's the one that posted that video, and if she didn't post that video we wouldn't be here today. But it just sucks because I hate whenever, like, low-key, when something that I like or something that is so minuscule like is trendy, because like things can get blown out of proportion and people just don't know how to act. I feel like people don't have decorum anymore. This makes me feel bad for people that have babies and they're just like, oh, I need to go to the store, and then they go and they're not there, or they're all ruined, and it's just like, come on now. Like, come on now. But I will say that I feel like if they're really struggling, I don't feel like they're not going to be at Target, because like Target is overpriced for the most part. I feel like they would be more at like the cheaper stores like Walmart or something, because Target, their prices are insane. Their prices are insane, but I just feel like this could have been prevented. I just hate that, like, people just don't know how to act anymore. It just kind of like breaks my heart seeing the video after video of people being like, stop doing this trend, stop doing this trend. They're locking up everything, stop doing this trend, you guys are ruining all the products. Like, it breaks my heart because these people need these things and you guys are just openly okay with ruining it. Like, I feel like it, you know what it also reminds me of? That Bluebell ice cream thing challenge started, and it was like a bunch of people, like back in 2020, were getting Bluebell ice cream and they were licking it, they were opening it and licking it, and then they had to like do all these precautions so people could stop licking them, and because it was obviously a biohazard and people were getting arrested for it because it was a biohazard. And it's, I don't know what the terminology is when you mess with things like that, but I do remember like people literally like filming themselves and incriminating themselves and doing stuff like this, and it was just like, what is going on with the world? I can't see myself ripping up. I kind of got on a tangent, but I kind of wasn't. I was trying to be on what's it called, on topic here, but I don't have anything else to say right now. If you do want to donate, go to a shelter or a woman's shelter, something like that, and just donate to them. Or if you see a homeless person, don't film it. Don't film them at their lowest, because I feel like it's humiliating, and I don't feel like you guys realize that, especially if they're super drugged out, like super strung out on drugs, and you're just like, let me film them at their lowest, like when they can't even form coherent sentences, and you guys are just like Krishan's mom, she's definitely on something, but there's a bunch of like teenager boys that recently just like filmed her when she was kind of like tweaking out. You can't consent to you filming them. You should not be filming them. Point blank and period. That is all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you I got my blood drawn today, so I feel like so tired now, but make sure you like and comment on this video. Check out my other videos if you haven't already. Like, comment, and share. Sharing helps me out a lot. Following me helps me out a lot too. And I'll see you next week. And if you have any video suggestions, that would help me out a lot too. I haven't really been getting into shows, so that's why I haven't been doing show reviews. Like, it's just kind of like a lot for me. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. She said subscribe. She said subscribe. Woman says she was a stray. She was homeless too. But you don't see her making videos about it. See her going up to homeless dogs and filming them and being like, here, I gave you some treats, let me film you. You don't see her doing that. She is humbled. She is from the streets. She's super humble, and you should be too.